Hi, it's me, Dave Crane. I hope you're okay. Hope you had a wonderful evening. I had an amazing day. I went to Toastmasters in Dubai and the Al Basha group, and that was a Holiday Inn hotel, and it was cool. Apart from I got a parking fine because we went on quite late. I didn't realise they were around so late, but obviously quite busy looking for people like me. But not to worry about it. I'll tell you something that's really cool. Stay there a minute. Hold on, I'm giving straight back. Let me show you this. Look at that. For being the best speaker, Al Basha group. You can see that's probably in reverse, which is kind of cool. So I got up and did a little bit and won that, which is really cool. Right, I wanted to share with you, hello Sally, I wanted to share with you today how you can find an extra month for no reason at all. Now, as we're all aware, it doesn't matter which calendar you're picking on, generally it's 365 days per year, which translates into 12 months, and that has on average about 4.5 weeks per month. And of course, then you've got 30 days, 31 days, or so on. But I've managed to scrape out an extra month. And you go, well, how could that possibly work? And I'll tell you exactly why. What it comes down to is very simple. All you have to do is get up 2 hours earlier. Now, I wake up about 5 o'clock every day. And if you're a follower of the stuff I do online, then you'll see that I write an article on LinkedIn every single day. So even today, when I woke up and I'd been at Toastmasters, I wrote about Toastmasters and posted it there. And what happens is, if you get an extra 2 hours every single day, and you give yourself a good 6 hours so you don't end up being too groggy for sleeping, then it means that you're taking about an extra, 7 days, 2 hours, an extra 14 hours a week from out of nowhere, which just didn't exist before. Now start counting that up. Say on average is about 4 weeks in a month. That's 56 hours that didn't exist before. Are you with me so far? So if you take those 56 hours per month and you add 12 months, and when you break it down, it actually works out about an extra 28 days a year. If you get all the hours in separate bits, those 28 days is almost a calendar month that you can rescue every single year. Now, my name for it is my Maya, because obviously I name it after my daughter. My gorgeous Maya is 6 years old. But the thing is, well, 7 this month. The thing is, that extra month is hugely significant. Now, most people don't use that time. They just frit it away. But as you get older, if you get old about like me, then suddenly it starts catching up with you. And you start thinking, right, am I using my time the right way? Am I doing enough of my time? Do you let other people waste your time? Another way that people lose and waste a lot of time, of course, is social media, says Dave, now on social media, talking to you about Facebook and so on. But on average, people spend about 2 hours a day. Again, the same as I was saying about getting up and getting up early on Facebook, checking on their books to see what people have been doing on their different profiles. And there's a reason for it. Why are people so addicted to using social media? Well, because it's all about recognition. When you scroll down and see who's liked and shared your stuff, you actually get a little hit of dopamine. Dopamine is basically a happy drug that's created internally when you feel cherished or loved or thrilled about something. So it becomes very addictive. So 2 hours every single day, I'm not saying that we do it for 2 hours in one go, it's just all the time looking for a little hit of people acknowledging that you exist. Now, it's actually very important because surveys have shown that when you actually don't get access to people, and when people don't discuss anything with you or send you love, you do get isolated. You do feel completely different. I talked before about the fact that when it comes down to it, there's a book called Tribes, which I may have mentioned before. This book, I think it's by Jordan Peterson, talks about the average person and how much they need to be in an environment where other people are talking to them. So let's put this in perspective. Our whole community is built on one thing: make lots of money, live in a big house, big car, lots of gadgets, big wall all the way around your house, nobody comes near you, you can be left alone to enjoy your freedom. But freedom doesn't work like that. What happens is if you're isolated too much, you end up getting depressed. If you look at the highest suicide rates, you're actually talking about white middle-class males living in a big house with lots of opportunities and money. I'm not picking on any race with this, I'm just saying for the stats, you can Google it. Often because of the fact they've got everything they want, apart from the fact they don't interact with people. So how does that make a big impact? Well, what Tribes talks about is the fact that as creatures, we're meant to be working in tribes. We're meant to be in groups of 40, 50 people living on top of each other effectively. Well, actually, originally from caveman days, or hunter-gatherers, going out, hunting for food, always in danger, but always looking out for each other, getting really close, creating relationships, and as a direct result of that, we end up having a much more fulfilling and happy life. That's the difference between living in an ivory tower, or living in a villa with a big wall around the outside, or living in a housing estate, or living in a compound where everybody knows everybody, even a block of flats. Because what happens is when you've got a community like that, everyone knows each other's birthdays, they look after each other's kids, they all eat and feed together whenever they get an opportunity to. On a celebration day, whether it's Christmas or an Eid or a birthday, everyone mucks in and they all care about each other. Now what happens is when people recognize you, you can actually feel the difference on you. It's actually very good for you to have people tell you that they care. Now the big stiff upper lip says, no, we don't care if anybody loves us, we're fine, we can deal with it. But that's clearly not the case. When you do a CAT scan on somebody's brain, you can see the different activity areas depending on whether they're male or female, and depending on whether they're happy, sad, tired, all the different things happen like that. But actually, it has a big effect on you physically as well. Now most people don't know it, but when you talk about something like a gut reaction, why is a gut reaction so important? Well, because a lot of the nervous system that's in your brain goes all the way down your system, and actually you've got just as much nerve endings, if not more, around your stomach area. So CEOs and big decision makers turn around